Well, Connecticut, for the most part, has some of the best health care in the country.
Yes, and there are still, though, as good as it is, some health disparities that disproportionately affect some of the communities here.
James Michel, the Chief Executive Officer of Access Health Connecticut, is here now to talk more about this. So good to see you.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thanks for coming into the studio. We appreciate that.
You know, the governor was just speaking yesterday, touting some of the advances we have and some of the Connecticut difference. And one of the things he talked about is, we really do have good health care, but and we've got some options for people. But with that, we still have some blind spots, some disparities. Can you tell us what those are?
Sure. You're right. Connecticut is among the top 5 when it comes to quality of health. So top 5 in terms of wealth. But we're in the bottom 10 when it comes to health disparities.
We are.
As it relates to the disparities between people of color and white folks in Connecticut.
Okay.
Right. So last year, Access Health, we completed a study.
Yeah, which is just remarkable.
Right. That outlined exactly what's driving those health disparities. And
tell us a little bit more about that study. You actually came up with 2 separate people.
Yes. Well, what we did, we wanted the study to be a lot more than just information, words on the paper.
Right.
We wanted it to be dynamic. We wanted to draw the readers into it so that they get emotionally connected to the issues. So what we did, we took data, real data, and we created 2 fictitious characters. One was named Marcus, he lives in the north end of Hartford, and Tyler, who lived in West Hartford, less than 3 miles apart.
Right.
And as we plotted the data throughout their lives, you could see the difference in the quality of life, education. Ultimately, Marcus dies about, again, this is about the data is showing us. Marcus would die 20 years premature, Tyler.
That is incredible.
Right? And then most of it is driven by health disparities and other issues as well.
So the one thing that we're doing that's really unique is we have, a great health exchange, but you're even doing something different at Access Health CT. You've got a new, first of its kind broker academy that could help. Well, tell us about that.
Right, sure. The 2 biggest drivers of health disparities is poverty. The other one is lack of access to information. So we know from our data that there's a lack of black and brown brokers in the urban communities in Connecticut. Those are communities that are impacted most by health disparities, and also we have the highest uninsured in Hartford, Bridgeport, and New Haven. So what we are doing, we are recruiting up to 100 people who live in those communities. And we're going to put them through the entire process, sponsor them through the entire process, pay for the training, pay for the exam, and pay for the licensing.
Isn't that great?
So that when they're finished, and then once they get the license, we're going to connect them with the expense brokers so that they get the exposure that they need to develop the strength and courage that they need to go out and sell in the community. Because we know buying health insurance is very personal, especially individually. Now, most of us probably have it through our jobs. But so you got to sit down and talk with somebody that understands who you are, culturally, linguistically, so they understand about the nuances of your community, so that they could ask you the right questions to get you access to the right health insurance for you and your family.
And are these brokers going to be distributed geographically throughout the area?
Well, no, yeah, exactly. We want 100 brokers, about 33, 35, Greater Hartford, Greater New Haven, Greater Bridgeport. And we're going to place them in those communities so that they're going to go to your churches, barbershops, so that they are there. And so they could answer questions. Because we know when people don't understand,
right,
they don't take action.
Right.
Right.
We need people to get access to health insurance.
You can't do something that you don't understand.
You don't understand. And also, there's a lack of trust in programs, stuff that you don't understand.
Right.
So the broker is going to be educated, licensed, and certified by us so that they're able to go out there and be a resource for the communities that they live and grow up in.
Sounds like a perfect idea. I hope it really
and
goes well.
There's also an economic component as well, because that's going to provide commission for those brokers.
Sure.
They get a commission every month for everyone they enroll.
Oh, that's terrific. Good, a little incentive there.
Absolutely.
Now, have you ever done voiceover work?
No.
You have the best voice ever.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Mike.
hired.
You're hired.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to see you. I know we do a lot of work with the Jamoke Academy.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you for coming in. We
Likewise.
appreciate it. And I
Thank
love your
you.
tie, by the way.
Thank you.
For more information, you can visit accesshealthct.com/health equity and learn a lot more about what we just spoke about.
Absolutely. All right, coming up today on Great Day, more to come. Love is in the air with Valentine's Day right around the corner. But what do you get your Valentine or Galentine? We have some ideas.
Also, some Valentine's Day appetizers you'll love. We're learning how to make some. Stay with us. We'll be right back.